Hello and welcome to Genius Bar. Today I have a special treat for you, and by special treat I mean I did something. I did something terrible, and I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize in advance.
The narrative's starting to change. You go in private. I got you a special little gift for next week.
I did.
And now, but that smirk I've only seen come out a few times because that's a genuine smirk. That's not a show smirk. That is John Prosser doing something to me that I think is going to be icky or nasty.
Okay, to be fair, what I'm about to do to you. Listen, we had a lot of Vision Pro talk last week. Vision Pro, we will actually have it for the next episode. So for this episode, I figured I'd set us up, have a little bit of a classic Genius Bar foolery. What happened was, to be fair, what is about to happen to you is also about to happen to me for the first time. So here's what happened. Let me paint the picture.
You don't have to.
Oh,
you
yeah.
put the paintbrush down.
Late in the evening, possibly a few vitamins in, I was on TikTok. And I saw something that I was like, oh my God, that's amazing for Genius Bar. I don't know why this particular thing felt so amazing at that time, but apparently I ordered the thing, and then I forgot about it. I forgot because I was vitamined. So future me discovered that the genius of vitamin me has struck Genius Bar, and I ordered us a little something to try in the podcast. Sam, I was watching TikTok, and a few people on a podcast tried smelling salts.
What?
Have you ever heard of smelling salts?
No. What it?
Okay.
Wait, isn't that what you do when you're about to like die or something? And it like wakes you up?
You might be able to do it before you die, yeah, but a lot of athletes do it before they go onto the field or before they're about to do something crazy. Weightlifters do it before they're about to lift something really heavy. It's supposed to shock your central nervous system and bring you to life. Yeah. It's just smelling salts. So go ahead and open it. Mine is right here. I wish I could tell you that I tried this before the show, but I might have been too afraid. So I'm going to try it with you.
By the way, we have a packed show today with news about iOS side loading, more on Vision Pro.
Lots of news today. Okay, you're going to want to unwrap that.
Dude, hold on. Why does this look spicy, John?
Oh, you don't eat it. It's definitely not. I wouldn't call it spicy. That's not what I would call it. I would open it.
No, this is the logo. It says Atomic Rhino.
Well, I looked
up. That
doesn't
look.
What are the strongest smelling salts I can get as a typical consumer? You know,
we used advanced polymer technology to bring the strongest and longest lasting formulation yet. These crystals guarantee a less leaky product.
Oh, some people like stuff sold on Amazon, the cheaper stuff is like comes in a powder form that you have to activate by dumping water in it. This is not that. This is just straight up smelling salt. You open it up, take a sniff, and that's it. His face. Audio listeners, he's not doing great with this information.
I'm just
so
reading it. There's like all kinds of
you don't need to read it. Just open it. The quicker you open it, the quicker we can move on. For the people, Sam.
What, John? What is this? What are you doing to me? How did you find this?
Would you like to look up a YouTube video of someone doing smelling salts and we'll show it on screen? Type in Theo Von trying smelling salts. That's the one that's what made me do it.
Dude, this says athletes use this after they got knocked out.
Nah, don't ignore that. Look up Theo Von try smelling salts. That's all you need to look up. That's what inspired this moment. I am too curious, and I'm not going to be curious alone. I tell you that much. Share your screen.
Dude. I'm scared. I'm not sharing it. What did you do to me, John? I don't like this.
Okay. Just open it up. And then you're going to want to take the lid off. Keep it away from your face, obviously.
Dude, What?
And then we're gonna do it together, and you're just gonna put it directly under your nose and take a big old whiff.
No, I think I'm gonna be. Dude, why did it like air came out when I opened it?
Okay, open it up. Open it up. Is there a seal on it or no?
No.
Okay.
It just looks like atomic goo.
Okay, are you ready to take a whiff? Okay, 3, all directly under your nose, Sam. 3, 2, 1.
I can feel it. I inhale.
Whoa! Shit! Oh! Whoa!
What?
I feel
What did you
I gotta
do to
close
me?
it. Oh my god, it's just in the air.
What did you do to me? What?
Oh! Oh!
You are a little freak.
Goodness
This is what I
gracious!
Dude.
What the fuck?
Why are you like this? Why did you make me do this? It's a nice Sunday.
Holy shit! People really do not play that up. That is very accurate. Wow. Audio
awake,
listeners,
buddy?
highly recommend youtube.com/geniusbar to get the visuals of that.
What did you do?
Dude, I feel like
bro?
when we are in like hour and a half of the podcast and feeling tired and we got more stuff to talk about, we should just take a whiff of that. I feel like I'll never sneeze again. My nose feels like a new one.
I don't like this.
Do you feel like you could lift something heavy?
I just feel weird.
I feel like I could lift my childhood trauma.
This is not, guys. Welcome back to Genius Bar.
Welcome to Genius Bar.
It's
Okay. Holy shit.
I can't. What is going on right now? Is Vision Pro about to come out, or is this just a hallucinogenic effect of smelling salts, bro?
Oh. Whew.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Will you ever do that again?
No.
I think I will.
No.
I think
See,
someday
I was
I
reading the
will.
article. It said, no, you have an addictive personality. So you got to
Oh
be
my
careful
God.
with
I'm
this.
pretty sure this would make my nose bleed if I did it like more than once a day, once a week. But I definitely see myself doing it again.
John, you sound like an addict.
It's just smelling salts.
That's what they said about vitamins, John. It's just vitamins. It just
And
makes
now
you
look,
feel real
they
good.
were right. Vitamins are the gateway drug. Look what I purchased because of them.
All right, guys, we've got an absolutely packed show for you now that we're both amped out the guard.
I'm so ready to talk about news. Let's talk about stuff. What would you like to
All
talk
right.
about? I just realized we don't have like a notes document for this week, do we?
You know what?
Wow.
We do. We do. I literally made one. Everybody calm down.
Oh, he
All right.
did.
So we're going to do a little game here on the Genius Bar. This has only been seen once on the show before. You have to be an OG remember.
Oh, God.
What we
No,
are
not
gonna
a
do.
game. Not a game.
Yay, it's game time on the
came with a
Genius
game.
Bar. We've got a number of different things to choose from,
Oh,
including
man. I got like
side loading
PTSD
on the
from games on
iPhone.
Genius Bar.
We've got developer tensions. We've got iOS 18 gonna be crazy.
Okay.
And we have our final news about Apple Vision Pro. And John, this wheel will be the only thing that decides what we talk about throughout the entire show. That's pretty exciting, right?
Wait, you didn't do we never did this for Genius Bar. You used to do this for your videos, I think, didn't you?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, I did.
Wow. I am an OG.
Are you ready to spin the wheel, John?
I am ready.
Okay, it's time for our first topic.
It's not the end of the show.
But it's just time for our first topic. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. This
This is actually let's do this every episode. This is a great way to talk about
It's
news.
kind of fun. Oh!
Okay, we're getting right
Okay,
into
we're talking
it.
about Vision Pro first.
Final
Okay.
Vision Pro.
Oh, it even
predictions.
claps. That's really cool. Okay.
Sam,
so,
that's a good idea. Better idea than what I had.
No, okay, well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So, at the time of recording this, the Apple's first. I can see you're like thinking about another hit because you're feeling down. Yeah, you are, dude. You're like, I gotta feel something again.
Shit. Okay,
This is the cycle.
I wish we would have known that you were doing the wheel. We could have put John's surprise on the wheel and just spun.
That's true. I mean, I did just come up with that on the fly. Okay. So it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're like 4 to 5 days away from Apple Vision Pro. Apple's first truly new product since 2015.
Sure is.
I don't know if you've realized this, but I feel like a lot of people don't understand how significant this moment is. Like, I was in high school the last time we got a new Apple product.
Yeah.
AKA, this doesn't, like, I think a lot of people are just like, oh, it's just like a new thing. It's like, no. Apple doesn't do this often. This is one of those moments where it's like we get to see what they've been working on, play with it. All bets are off. You know, who knows what people like me are going to do with the headset once we get our hands on it.
Yeah, who knows?
And who knows what people like Jon Prosser are gonna say once they get it. They're gonna be like, I was wrong. Sam Kohl was right. He's always right. He knows best.
Well, am I gonna have to make like an apology video for this? Like, do you think it's that deep now? Like, I'm gonna have to get a ukulele and make it a whole thing?
No. I think what you're saying is you're just waiting to see, and that's completely fair. I totally get that.
Oh, now you think it's completely fair?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're you, man. You're you, and I appreciate that about you, and I love.
Still very excited to try it and have it.
I watched some more people's thoughts in the past week of like what they thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the weight. Marquez really said it's very heavy.
Yeah,
but he also said it's not a deal breaker. He just said he thinks it's going to limit what he does with it. I'm a bit worried. I was very hopeful that the dual loop band would be better, but Marquez and other people at his crew that tried it, they said, I think David Immel, he was like, it's still pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's like the only way to counteract that is by more, not an extra band on your head, but more weight on the other end, which they're not willing to do that.
But maybe a third-party developer.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like I said, my Quest setup is like a aftermarket headband with a magnetic battery that attaches to the back of the headband, so it balances the weight pretty well. I had my first instance yesterday wearing AirPods Max and them being too heavy.
I was just going to bring that up. That's
really?
So funny you say that.
Okay.
Yeah. What were you doing with your AirPods?
So last night, huge WWE fan here. I was watching their premium live event, so the Royal Rumble last night. And me being fascinated by like audio specific, like I think WWE has the best production team in the world. Like they're not all the best people. They're not working for the NFL. They're not working for the NBA. They're all at WWE, like quietly just killing it. So I watched the entire event with my AirPods Max, and the entire event was like 4 hours.
Wow.
And like 3 hours in, I was like, okay, like I'm starting to feel like just straight up steel in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent comparison. And that was one that I heard like Marquez talk about on his podcast. And I think it's pretty apt, but I think it also highlights like how Apple can make, like, even if there's compromises, it's still worth it. Like, that the weight of AirPods Max is actually, I think you can probably find episodes back in, I mean, right around 2021, 2020, or I think even in my like review of AirPods Max where I say I actually don't wear these mostly because they're too heavy. Over time, there was something that kept drawing me back to them over other headphones. And it was the fact that they were AirPods. They pair instantly and they were synced to all my devices. And they sound amazing. You know, all of that, right? Where I mean, even now, what I wear on the podcast every week for an hour to 3 hours, depending on how long we talk. It's funny
maybe it's a good thing that the battery only lasts 2 hours on Vision Pro, like right before you start to feel it.
Honestly, that's a really interesting, except for if you brought multiple battery packs, but that's a story for another day. I think the magic of the device is going to have to speak for itself. And like, again, neither of us have tried it, which is, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just say that out loud, it, I feel like when I just we've been talking about this for long. I mean, we and you were doing an event the day after this got announced. Like, there's just been so much chaos and so much happening in the past 7-8 months. It's just
I mean,
wild
you and
that,
I
like,
have been
it's-
talking about this since 2018, I
True.
think.
True.
That's
It's
insane.
weird. It's insane that like I am going to be able to have an Apple headset. That just
Yeah.
okay. Has anybody else had this effect? I want to share my screen. Just it's something that we've all seen at this point, but I want to share like just this alone. It's the homepage of Apple.com. This doesn't feel real.
No. Yeah, no.
Like let's say 8 months ago this would have leaked. I would have said, "Oh, that's fake." What?
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, they cute Photoshop, but like spatial. This is not a real screenshot. This is Apple.com. This is the product that we pre-ordered that they sold out of. That they've, Did you see the updated sales numbers were a little bit higher than the initial 60 to 80,000 we heard?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Wasn't it like 180K?
Yeah, I couldn't remember if we talked about it, but I was like, people are getting their hands on this, but. I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's here.
So I'm assuming that the initial 60 to 80K that Quo talked about, those are launch day people, and then everyone that ordered after that will. And I've even seen launch day people have their dates moved back. I'm like checking mine all the time because I'm scared now. But haven't you seen the stories come out?
Wait, what? People have gotten their dates pushed back? What?
Yeah, like people that had launch day. I don't think this has ever happened before. People that have had launch day, their date just shifts to the next month somehow.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, Friday, February 2nd. Friday, February 2nd. Let me check one more. Arrives February 2nd. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, yeah. I'm good too. I'm just saying.
Don't scare me like that ever again, though.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to need a smelling salt.
How haven't you seen the stories, Apple Track?
Because since Twitter
I can
got rid
see
of
the Apple
third-party
Track
client.
tweet in my head.
Yeah, me too. Where did you see these? Who reported this?
9 to 5 Mac, I think.
Really?
I
Bind to
remember
Bive back? My
Yeah.
favorite boys.
Yeah.
New Apple best friend. I'm jelly, not even going to lie.
This was like days ago. Why wouldn't you Google it, silly boy?
What do you mean?
You can find it
Google
easier, like dates being Vision Pro dates pushed back or something.
What? Apple Vision Pro dates. I've never used the internet before right now. This is my first time.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Tech Radar, the technology experts. This looks like a child designed this.
I think they did, actually. Like, for real.
Oh. Ray. Okay, so this is just like 3 people on Twitter, bro. This isn't like. You made it sound kind of widespread and I got frightened. It seems like it's just a couple people.
Is it just a couple?
Also, look at this BS. Look at this malarkey, bro. What is that? What just happened? I just searched the letter B. And it's all music videos. That's funny. Dude, so I moved to California recently. What is this horse shit? I have to pay a $4 recycle
Oh my
fee.
God.
No, that's on my orders as well. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I'm not recycling anything. This is a new product. What are you? I'm keeping literally every part of this.
Yeah.
What is the recycle fee?
Also, you don't see any world where you return this, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah,
It would
me
have
either.
to be worse, unless it would be somehow worse than my Meta Quest 3, which that would be impressive.
Yeah. No, it's like
Do you?
I wanted to ask because I'm curious to how many people like this is them because $4,000 is a lot. So I'm curious how many people are like, yeah, I'll bite the bullet now, and their safety net is I can just return it if it's not like if I don't like it. But that's the thing.
Oh,
like
I
even if I'm not,
understand.
even if I put it down after 3 weeks and I only use it every once in a while, I still won't get rid of it. I won't return it because obviously updates are coming and yeah.
Dude, WWDC this year, I just want to predict now. I can feel in my bones 2024 going to be crazy.
Is it? You think
I
so?
woke up today, it hit me. It's technically launch week for Vision Pro because we've heard so many rumors, things about iOS 18 we'll talk about later, depending on the wheel decides.
Yeah.
We do.
Whatever. Whatever.
Do you feel that way about this year? Does this year feel different to you, or do you think it's just going to be kind of another par for the course?
It depends. Like, I think software is probably going to be pretty great this year. Sounds like we're getting an S year for iPhones, iPads in March. But it's like no matter what, it's going to be hard to top a brand new product release at the beginning of the year like this.
Dude, it's so sick.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, I don't know. I guess is there anything? There's not really any new information. Apple did just publish like a new little ad on YouTube. I saw.
Well, if you're watching this, if you watched Genius Bar early in the week, it was revealed by Gurman today that the reviews are going live on Tuesday. So the people that Apple again, there's the caveat. It's the people that Apple selected to do the reviews, but still, it's like. It's
first time
we're
going to see it.
It's not the highly controlled environment that we've been seeing Vision Pro in. So excited to see those on Tuesday. So if you watch this on Sunday night when it comes out or Monday, be on the lookout for Tuesday. And if you watch Genius Bar late in the week, sorry.
Yeah.
Go look. They're up now.
Dude, this ad is really, I think the only thing that's new, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I'm remembering correctly. This is like a new version of that dad ad, with this dude in it. You remember him?
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. That I don't
the one that was playing soccer in the.
Yeah. So he's just there in his kitchen, but I believe this next footage of this dude is new. I don't think we've ever seen this.
Okay.
In this home, in that set with this guy, I believe we have not seen it. I could be wrong. Because we've seen that clip before, and then we have seen this of them on FaceTime, which that's like her in a hotel room. That guy, this is also new, this guy. We've never seen this model use Vision Pro before. This is how thirsty I am for just any new content about Vision Pro.
You really are.
That dude's new. And the panoramas. Wait, is that,
this is all
is that
stuff.
LA?
It looks just like alternative shots that they didn't use at WWDC.
I don't think that's LA. Because I took a panorama just the other day. No, it's not LA. I did take a picture the other day.
Dude, I'm
hyped.
like I have so many panoramics that I've taken that I'm excited to see.
Look, here's him playing soccer with his kid.
Yep. Airplane lady.
Airplane lady is the same. Yeah, I mean, it looks like. They're dancing. Are you going to dance in your Vision Pro?
Yeah.
I know, I will be. Hello, Vision Pro. This is like their first big ad. I do think the computing aspect is going to be the least interesting.
Yeah.
And also, did you know something else about this that Apple confirmed at a John Gruber show? Did you know that this is all shot on Vision Pro? Like this, anytime that they show like the POV, it's not like a professional camera. It's actually Vision Pro.
What? Huh?
Like a lot of people would be like, a lot of people would be
these
like,
aren't visual effects. They were recorded directly from Vision Pro.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
really?
native.
How?
Yeah, I don't know, but Jaws confirmed. I mean, this is from the words of Apple, so that could be.
I wonder if that's just an Apple thing, or if we're all going to be able to record it like that. If that's just like, because that changes how we make Vision Pro content as well.
Yeah, I mean, Jaws said back that he was like, everybody was wondering, what special effects or cameras we use. He's like, no, everything you saw from the viewer's POV was real time. Captured on which I feel like everybody kind of glossed over it. I mean, hey, I didn't mention it for 8 months, but I thought that was pretty impressive that like this, I mean, you kind of get a sense of the video quality. Now, obviously it's going to be perfectly lit. Obviously they've got massive lights in it, of course. But my point being like, is that jelly toast? That looks really good. I wish I was that little girl right now. I love jelly toast. I'm kind of jealous. So there we go. There's Dad.
There's Dad.
What are your thoughts on the eyesight? This is the last thing I want to bring out because I've been thinking about this more and more.
That
is
looks
eyesight
less good. Like that, it looks kind of scary.
Really? I actually think that this is one of the better screenshots that I've seen.
I wish it was brighter.
Yeah,
like I'm sure that might look better in real life. I don't know.
I think eyesight
it's still better
is a
than
good
nothing.
Call overall. Yeah, because the MetaQuest, you just look like a freaking alien.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't look like an alien already, but my point is it makes me look freakier.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a
I don't
certain
know.
level of like hardcore disconnection that I feel like I have when I have a Quest on. Like the cameras aren't good, so any pass through isn't great.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is like, yeah, this is cool.
Did
idea.
us talking about the Quest 3 at all last week make you try it on since our last conversation? Meta's headset?
No.
I actually charged mine up, took it out of the box,
really?
found it in my house buried,
Did you really?
plugged it in, and I stand by everything I said about it being a bad experience.
Well, I think, okay, I don't want to give Meta an excuse here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when it's specifically for us, when we use the Quest, we have a disproportionately bad experience because we use it so sporadically, and then our shit is never updated, and that's always like an issue when we go to use it, and then they're not clear about what needs updated and how. Oh, I want this to work, but like in order to get this one thing to work, I have to update an app that like I would never have thought to update, and it's a mess. That's still bad for Meta, but also it's like maybe if we used it every day, we wouldn't feel so about the software. Not sure though.
I would argue the cracks are going to show up worse if we used it every day, because I think the fact that it happens just like every time we use it sporadically is probably not a good omen. But again, I haven't done it. I could be wrong. I noticed a couple things that I'm. If everything that people said are true, the Vision Pro is going to be the aha moment, like I get AR VR now, because the Quest. And this is a different experience from me going into it. Like I have always been the guy, I mean, you know me, Mr. Apple. Like I didn't own an Android tablet before the iPad. I didn't own a Pebble before the Apple Watch. I didn't own Galaxy S2 before, or Galaxy S1 before the iPhone or whatever was the Samsung comparable. So it was just like, oh, Apple's it, and it's amazing and magical. But now, I mean, we both own the most mainstream phone. We own the BlackBerry before the iPhone.
Yeah.
So we know what the quirks are. And I mean, dude, I got to be real. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw this on and just try to like walk around. Dude.
Okay. Did it go terribly?
It's really hard. The cameras have these horrific image quality.
Yeah.
The warping and bending. If you put your hand like right here in front of the headset, the cameras like they freak out and make you like see in multi-dimensionality. I feel like, you know, I'm like, oh my God, you couldn't actually like do work in this. The weight is great. The fact there's a battery in there that lasts 2 or 3 hours with everything else, like the weight is, they've nailed. The weight is actually great on the Quest 3. And the other thing that Apple has just gotten right, that using the Quest again reaffirmed, is the controllers. Controllers are foreign. And the fact that it was something where I always have to make sure my controllers were out of battery when I plugged it in, and I had to go find batteries in my house, put a new AA in each controller, and then, you know, have to carry them around. And then I'd walk into another room and be like, oh my God, I left the controllers sitting in the kitchen. I want to watch a movie or watch YouTube in my bed. So then you have to go grab the controllers.
Or you could use your hands poorly.
True. I forgot they do have some basic.
It's not good. Yeah.
Point being, it's an extra layer that's just like, it made me realize that Apple's approach. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting was, I think we might have talked about this a few months ago. Did you see this episode of Palmer Luckey, the founder of of Oculus, on a podcast talk about Vision Pro?
No.
Let me just
I
play
remember
the first part of
news
this.
stories maybe about this.
Yes. I just want to play the first part of this interview. It's actually a pretty interesting interview. Now, to be clear, Palmer Luckey as an individual, I learned a lot about him, what he stands for and what he's about. And it's definitely like, I would say we disagree on some fundamental things. But from what I understand about the dude is like, he is following like his genuine passion, which like right now that's like making America the greatest country in the world. You can probably see what pipeline that goes down. Because he's now like in military defense
contracting. Would you say he's like making it great again?
That's, I think, what he's trying to do. Regardless, he is obviously a visionary and seeing like virtual reality before most people, and being the founder of Oculus. And I want to play, first of all, this interview was also really good. It's Peter Diamondandus, but just want to play the short clip because he asks about Vision Pro, and I thought it was pretty interesting to hear the founder's response of the original kind of VR headset.
Hit me.
I'm going to come back to Facebook, but a couple weeks ago, finally, Apple debuts Vision Pro.
That's right.
You had tried the headset before at an earlier stage, and then
I talked about that in abundance, and then
did.
everybody dug up my comments, which they had to kind of miss the first time, and then everyone was digging it up because I guess apparently I'm one of the only people who was willing to say something.
So, did you see the debut as well?
Oh, of course.
Good. And what up? What do you think?
Hey,
did they nail it?
I think that there's things that I would do differently if I were Apple, but
what did they do right?
And that's what I was gonna say. They did basically everything right. They didn't do anything terrible. I mean, I think Apple's going after the exact right segment of the market that Apple should be going after. So the thing you have to remember is different companies, I think, have different products that are right for them to be building. I think if Apple had tried to go after the low end of the market, that would have been a mistake. They are taking the exact approach that I had always wanted Apple to take, and really the approach that Oculus had been taking in the early years. You know, I actually when Apple launched the Vision Pro, I retweeted a tweet of my own from 2015 where I said that before VR can become something that everyone can afford, it must become something that everybody wants.
I thought that was a really interesting quote. That was the main thing that I wanted to bring. And I thought it was interesting hearing that, like, you know, it'd be the same thing of like the founder of the mobile phone then talks about the iPhone. You know, I mean, obviously he didn't invent the idea of VR, but he made the first mainstream VR. I mean, Oculus, I would say that was it. Like, that's the thing people even now probably think of, which is now Meta.
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that he said he thinks Apple did the right segment. And that last quote, B, I thought was fascinating, where he's like, it has to be something that everybody wants. And listening to his interview, again, I'd highly recommend watch like that section of the interview. It's like 20, 30 minutes. You can find clips. We'll link it down below. But it really, it made a lot of things more clear, and it was kind of interesting to get his perspective as somebody who had kind of built a similar product before. Yeah. And but a couple of things he disagreed with Apple on later in the interview. He was like, I think controllers and like haptics are huge, and I think Apple not including controllers was a mistake. And that's where I fundamentally disagree. I think if Apple would have included controllers, that would have been a huge mess.
I agree too.
That's not Apple. Apple is thing touch, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, got to cut that part out again.
It's like the what? Oh, it's like the thing itself is already foreign, so it's like the least amount of foreign you can introduce, the easier it's going to be to handle. And when someone puts this on, they're like, "How do I work it?" Just like the same way you want to work it. Like, use your hands, use your eyes. Yeah. That's it.
Just do.
Wow. What'd you take off your phone? Was there anything on there in particular?
Yeah, just like a booger, because I'm disgusting and ugly.
Glad you cleaned it off before you showed it to the camera.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's where I want to leave it on Vision Pro. I think that's a good way to wrap up this 8-month stint. Next week, next episode's it for Vision Pro.
Next episode is it.
You ready? You excited?
John, I'm
excited. So excited, bro.
I'm very excited, yeah.
I'm so excited. So, hey, that's the last time you're going to hear from us before the gloves come off, baby. Because if I get this headset, Tim, and it is not absolutely mind-melting, all I want to say is we live in the same state now.
Yikes.
We're closer than
Holy
we've ever
shit.
been. And by that, I mean, I'd love to take a photo because I still think you're a dope CEO, and it'd be cool to meet again. That's to be clear, 100% joke. I'm not gonna Justine it out here like Steve Jobs in that situation. I'm gonna keep it.
He ain't joking.
PC. Okay.
All right. Next up,
time to spin the wheel again.
Let's spin it.
You ready?
Where's the wheel?
Oh, you can even remove it. Oh, sorry. Let me share the wheel. We just got Palmer Luckey. I also love how that interview of Palmer Luckey is him just like in front of a drone that's gonna like kill civilians, which is kind of hilarious. Okay. Anyway, you ready?
Spin it, Daddy.
Spin it. Wheelofnames.com. Not a sponsor, but we love you. Oh, this is a good one.
iPhone. Okay.
This is a good one. Okay. I mean, I would argue this is the news of the past
Okay.
week.
Oh,
there's
yeah, for
anything.
sure.
Let me pull up the press release, bro.
Okay.
This is going to get messy.
This
I
I found out from your TikTok.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa. That's actually kind of cool.
Yep.
You still get my TikToks? That actually warms my heart.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Aw, thanks, man.
Yeah.
See, you guys can hear the news first on TikTok. I'm Sam Kohl.
Yeah.
Because somebody has freaking Sam Kohl and they won't give me the name.
Oh, yeah. Someone has front page tech and my name, and yeah. Yep. I even reached out. Was like, not that I ever planned on using it, but I was like, yo, can I have front page tech? And no reply.
Dude.
Sam, I bet you would hate to know how much personal information there is about you on the internet.
You're telling me that there's data on me out there, John? For how they get it? What's it say?
Oh yeah, dude. Data. Not only does data come out in like little pieces, but then over the years the pieces sort of accumulate until there's like a really good picture of you just out there on the internet, spread by data brokers that get paid to leak your information. Well, guess what? I have a service for you. They've sponsored Genius Bar today. They're gonna fix all your troubles.
Who is it?
It's called Delete Me, everybody. They're back on the show.
Delete Me. Guys, I was just playing around because you know what? I've been using Delete Me for months, actually.
Yeah, they're like, in the ad read, they're like, speak from personal experience about how hard it is to keep your data off the internet. But it's not for us. We've been using Delete Me for so long.
Yeah. Dude, this is great. Let me tell you how it works. Normally, these websites, because they're evil people, you have to reach out to each of these little grimy toads, as we've called them before. You got to reach out to them individually, right? You got to be like, hey,
please,
remove
mister,
my stuff.
take my
But
stuff
John,
down.
Do you know how long that would take? Could you give me an estimate of maybe how long that would take to reach out to each one individually?
We wouldn't have time to do this, I don't think. And also, I don't think the data brokers would take us seriously. We need a big, scary presence to do this for us.
Yep, that's exactly what Delete Me does. They reach out to you on behalf of you and get your data removed. And they reach out to these people and they're like, hey, Sam and John say stop using their stuff.
Or else.
Or
and
else.
You don't want to know what the or else is.
No,
Only
you don't
we
want
know
to
what
get
the
deleted.
or else is with Delete
If you
Me.
know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, it might be delete you
me,
if you don't
delete
remove our
them.
data.
Okay. Wow.
So guys, guess what? With Delete Me, they take care of all of this. That's why we use Delete Me. That's why we love it, because John and I also, as like public figures, we want to make sure there's as least available info about us online that is personal as possible. It's amazing. You guys can sign up with Delete Me with the exact information you want deleted. They send out the privacy reports to you and letting you know what's deleted, what they're working on, what's been done. It's amazing, guys. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. And we have a special discount. John, do you want to read the special discount?
All right, listen. People listening to Genius Bar, don't spread this around. This is a secret because you can get 20% off your Delete Me plan today. And all you have to do is go to joindeleteme.com/geniusbar. Use the promo code GeniusBar at checkout as well. Again, that is the only way to get 20% off. This is a highly kept secret. No one else knows it on the internet. It's joindeleteme.com/geniusbar. Enter code what, Sam?
GeniusBar at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/geniusbar, code GeniusBar. And thanks to Delete Me for sponsoring.
Thank you, Delete Me. We love you.
Okay. Apple announces changes to iOS Safari in the App Store in the European Union. Let me just hit you with one of these.
I want to preface to the audience that, like, it's a lot of jargon.
Yeah.
So try to follow along because I promise it's worth paying attention to. Okay, my preface is over.
I mean, where's to start? There's too much in this to like.
Yeah, on purpose too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is 100% intentional because, first of all, were you surprised that we got a press release for this? Because I was.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be quiet.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a background change that they didn't want to talk about, but they really came out swinging. And
unless it's maybe it's a legal thing, like it all has to be like openly public facing and not confusing, even though it is confusing.
That's possible. So, I mean, Apple released this as part of iOS 17.4 beta. They confirmed that this will be, it sounds like the beta, like iOS 17.4 is a software will be coming out in March of this year. So just under 2 months, basically. You know, they're very clear. I just realized, why is Phil Schiller giving these quotes still? Don't you not even work? Like, what is an Apple fellow? That they just make things like just either
he has
retire or be an
ascended.
employee. I don't understand what the point. It just does. It's weird. Like, can I be an Apple fellow?
I don't think you can, no.
I don't think I can either.
I think there's a few things that you
That might
are missing.
prevent.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess let's go through these. The changes to iOS. You've got a new way to distribute apps from the App Store. You can use
I
alternative
love the
app
wording
stores.
too. Okay, so the exact wording for audio listeners is not third-party app store. Apple says new options for distributing iOS apps from alternative app marketplaces. So they're separating like, no, we have the App Store.
Yeah.
There's no third-party app store. These are
Yeah.
fucking reckless goodwill marketplaces like Oh, Apple.
Obviously, new frameworks, APIs for developers to support that. This one was interesting. You can enable third-party. Sorry, that's been allowed. You can not use Apple's WebKit for a web browser. So that means technically Google Chrome, because I don't know if people know this because it's
Yeah.
sneaky and Apple doesn't
The
let
actual
you know,
rendering engine in
Yeah,
Google
Safari
Chrome on iOS.
is at a system level a faster, better mobile browser by design because Apple intentionally kneecaps every other browser to be slightly less good. So this allows developers to now, I think
Use
that's
their own, like-
globally.
Yeah, they should be able to use
Okay.
their own like rendering engines because that I've always felt icky about that. Like other browsers
Yeah.
being on iOS when it's like, is it really though? Is it
No, it's-
really?
it's
Because
kinda
it's just
just
kind of
using
has the Chrome icon, but like
Yeah.
it's just rendering stuff the same way Safari would render it, and so this is like actual full-fledged mobile browsers that you can have and use as options now.
Yeah. This is kind of an interoperability request form. I mean, I actually don't know much about that. I haven't heard much talk about that being a big point. But Apple's kind of then gets into the details. They're like, well, we're going to scan these apps for malware still.
Yeah, so they're still going to be checking the apps, but because Apple, but they aren't going to be scanning the content of the app. So
Yeah.
the previous
You
app
can-
process was like you developed an app, you submit it to Apple. They're going to check every nook and cranny. They're not just going to like make sure your code is up to par. They're going to also make sure that the content aligns with like, Apple.
I mean, a good example is like if you want to make a gambling app with real money and crypto for the iPhone,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to go on the App Store and
Yeah, a real
Keep your
gambling
crypto
app,
app
that
that Apple
isn't
wouldn't
disguised
allow.
as Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a new page that shows you like Apple's kind of trying to scare you and doing stuff. But then there's some other stuff, John.
There is
that's
some other stuff.
Real sneaky. Because
You
it's
have
so
to
far,
scroll.
it's like,
You have to scroll a little bit for the other stuff.
Yeah, there's details that Apple adds in, like, oh, by the way, we are
Yeah.
dropping the fees, but you've got to. Okay, let me just find the exact thing so we can read it from Apple's mouth
Yeah,
themselves.
only fair
it
to
actually
read
might
their
not be.
words.
Here we go. So the new business terms for iOS apps in the EU have these three elements. Okay, this is very important. We should talk about these like word for word. First off, Apple touts you have to pay us less. iOS apps on the App Store will pay a reduced commission of either 10% or 17% on transactions for digital goods and services. So just in general, now the way I'm reading this is
As
that
opposed to the 30%.
is Apple just dropping their fees for the App Store in general?
iOS apps on the App Store. Oh, it looks like they're incentivizing. This is them incentivizing people to stay within the App Store. I think that's what it looks like.
Ah, okay. Okay, iOS app. Okay, the next they say there's a payment processing fee.
Yeah.
iOS apps on the App Store can use the App Store's payment processing for an additional 3% fee. So then you would go up to 20% is Apple's cut, which that's actually very reasonable for a payment processing fee. That's about, it would probably cost you more to not do it through Apple there. So again, they're like, hey, look, you're at 20% maxed out. Developers can use a payment process service provider if they want to with no, additional fee to Apple. But here's the kicker. This is what's gotten a lot of people up in arms, and I would argue rightfully so. It's this change called a core technology fee. Do you want to read this bullet?
Okay. Core technology fee. iOS apps distributed from the App Store and or an alternative app marketplace will pay, what is it? It's like the equivalent 50 cents, but like...
It's about 56 cents US.
Okay. For each first annual install per year over the 1 million threshold.
What?
Like, the first thing that comes to my head is just how? Like, how did they pull that off? How is that happening?
Yeah. I believe it's actually closer to like 54 cents. I might have misspoken. But anyway, about 50 cents.
Yeah.
So yeah, Apple's basically saying, yeah, your fees are going down, but you got to charge 50 cents per download is what you owe us now. So not are we not just so think about it this way. Imagine we make YouTube videos, right? And
imagine.
YouTube's like right now, the way YouTube and our monetization works there is they're like, we take, what is it, 40% of our earnings?
40.
We get 60%. So it's about 40-60 split. Some people have different agreements, but I think that's what most creators are at.
Yeah.
Is about 40, 60, 30, 70, something like that. That's the exact same terms that Apple has for their App Store. Developer sells an app. They sell an in-app purchase for $1. The developer gets 70 cents. Apple gets 30 cents. Here's where this goes awry. At the end of the day, if a developer doesn't sell anything, they don't owe Apple anything.
Yeah.
Like if it's a free app, it's just a free app for fun, goofy little thing a developer made. You know, I think
Genius
about
Bar soundboard.
Hit the Island. You know, that silly app for the iPhone where you play and you hit the dynamic island with a ball like Tetris or Pong. That developer, even if they don't offer in-app purchases, now has to pay 50 cents. So if you and I download this app at the same time, they already owe Apple $1 for a year.
Yeah.
And the second we use that app or update it, one day over a year, fee again.
Yeah.
So now, just from us two, Apple has made €2.
Yeah.
And this developer's not from the app, from the developer, they have to pay. Which you can see, wait. Let's do the math here. If that's €2 over 2 years from two people, I guess it would be €1.
Yeah, I would.
Well, no, €2 over the course of 2 years.
Yeah,
It would be
over
50
2
cents
years
each.
it would be 2, yeah.
You know, I'm just saying, like, dude, Facebook is a free app that doesn't have in-app purchases. Do you know how many millions of people download Facebook?
Yeah, but Facebook, that's not. I mean, they're still fucking banking off of that app.
I know, but my point is, you see how Apple was real shitty here. Very bad. Not a good thing.
How? Again, this
What do you-
is coming from somebody that's like, this is coming from someone who has repeatedly said they shouldn't be forced to do side loading in the first place.
Yeah, but this is worse for developers, it feels like, than the current system.
What do you want him to do? Like, be forced into this and make it easy?
I know, shocker.
Like, this is the Apple. This is Tim Cook being Tim Cook. This is a deterrent and a compromise at the same time.
I'm not confident that the EU is going to be cool with this.
I feel like they are, though. Like, when we got like that PR photo op image of Tim Cook shaking hands with the person from the EU, and it looked like an agreement had been made. Like, this isn't. There's been a few battles where it seemed like the EU's like, Apple got to do this, and then they fight, and then they just reluctantly make the change with no actual communication. This to me feels like there was communication and an agreement made, like, okay, we'll do this, but it's got to be under our terms a little bit. And then it feels like for it to get this far, the EU has already agreed that this will do, I guess.
I get it's Apple's platform. I get they built it. I get that they should get some kind of compensation. I do not understand Apple's hostility toward the people that made their platform the thing.
Hostility towards the people. What?
Apple has, in recent history, they've just been relentlessly attacking developers, and it's getting to the point where, like, I think people are going to start getting a little burnt out.
Wait, how
of
so
the Apple
though?
train. Dude, what do you Fortnite being banned because they want to do their own thing and not pay Apple a tax, so Apple bans them.
But
We've
that's
got the
not-
Hey
that's-
email situation that happened where Apple was like, you can't do this very specific thing that you want to do. They recently had another flare-up where it got rejected because they did something slightly out of Apple's purview. We've got now Apple literally being like, fuck you developers. You're paying
it's
us
not
either
a
way.
Fuck you developers. This feels like this is just this. If Apple on their own free will was like, okay, side loading, ta-da, we're introducing side loading, and also it's kind of sketchy. Sorry about that. That's I don't think that's cool. But to be forced into doing this, and then them trying to like compromise from a business perspective, it doesn't feel hostile. It feels like a compromise. Like if it feels like a very Tim Cook compromise, like you're not going to get the whole slice of pizza here. That is intentional, and it's messy and confusing intentionally. But like, I don't know what else people want. Like,
you could just go online and read what every developer is saying. Like, have you not seen any?
But like,
Steve Trotton, like, have you not seen these people? Have you not seen the CEO of Epic share his?
Again,
I mean, these are the
is
people
coming
most
from a
impacted
guy-
by this.
Again, this is coming from a guy who doesn't think they should have been forced to do this in the first place.
Sure.
So like, any result after them being forced to do it is like, they can only be pushed around so much. Like this is what I mean. Like this is the slippery slope I keep trying to talk about. Like they wanted USB-C. Okay, you outright got USB-C. So then like they're pushing some more. RCS. Okay, you can have RCS. It's mostly RCS. They get without just like the end-to-end Google encryption because they're not going to work with Google. Okay, slight compromise there. Now they're going some more. Okay, now we want side loading. This is Tim going, okay, all right. Like, we're not just going to keep giving you stuff clean. That's
because this is the only thing that would actually impact Apple's services revenue per quarter. That's why they've had USB-C doesn't impact Apple's
They made money from Lightning
sales. Yes, but
that was
I think
that was
this
like
would be
the
a much
most
different.
That was the best selling
Right.
item at Best Buy. Was a Lightning to USB-C adapter. Or a headphone adapter. I don't remember. It was literally just a $30 adapter. They made fuckloads of money off of that.
I mean, I just think the scale here for a piece of software, and I think Apple's thought that it's a very old school mentality, and
Yeah. Agree.
I just don't think there's something about this one that feels bad and wrong.
Okay. You just feel it in your bones?
Yeah. But also because I'm also seeing what major developers who've spent years of their life devoted to making apps to make Apple's products successful and even more marketable.
That's such a silly dude. I'm sorry. I can't take that. That is that's horseshit. That's horseshit. Saying that they did this to make Apple's thing successful. That's not what fucking happened. The whole thing has been in parallel. Developers, while making Apple's product more successful, also are benefiting.
Of course.
It's an equal and opposite thing. It's not just like you made it sound like developers doing charity work, they built Apple and now Apple's fucking them. No.
But Apple
companies
is
have been made through this. Developers have been made through this. Just as you are helping Apple grow their platform, you're being given a fucking platform.
I think the example that like I would it to me it really feels, and again, I've made a couple apps back in the day, but I don't know a whole lot about development. I only know what I'm seeing. I'm really just seeing the perspectives of developers that have shared their thoughts, right? So that's sort of where I'm speaking through. And generally when there's any group of people affected, I try to go to the source and try to hear what they're saying to try to make my own opinion. Like rather than me being like, I love Apple and I think the App Store is fine right now. I'm trying to hear people out that might have a different perspective or be impacted in a different way than I would. And I am seeing a lot of developers be like, man, Apple is just not. To be clear, I'm not saying Apple should make $0 from any app ever. I'm saying I think there's a better compromise than Apple charging developers 50 cents per user. That is okay, did you see the calculator that they have? That's pretty nuts. Let me pull it up. They have a calculator
there's a fee
for
calculator.
if you
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you okay, are you gonna sell it? Digital goods, yes. Let's say free app.
I'm gonna absolutely ruin your day after this.
Okay, that's fine.
Not
are you
not
member of the
on
small business
purpose.
program?
Not an attack towards you, but
Yes. How many annual installs? Let's just say my app gets 500,000 downloads. This is going to be the new capabilities. Look, it's great, right? Uh-oh, what if you get a few more installs? Let's say we get 1.5 million. Uh-oh. What? So if I make a free app, or this is on the alternative, or with Apple, actually. So just any developer that wants to make a free app has to pay Apple 22 grand a month?
where did you get those 1.5 million people?
From
$22,000. If you have an app that has a 1.5 million users, and you're not monetizing it to where you could spend that money, I don't know what you want. Like, do you want,
Dude.
Okay.
Do you realize how much money 22 grand a month is for a developer?
But like, what are you trying to do?
What is the argument I'm making?
No. No, not you. No.
Okay.
That was just no. I mean, like, what are you trying to do with your app, developer? I'm talking to an invisible developer.
I don't know. I'm making an app that puts a smiley face on your screen and it gives you a positive quote for the day. And I'm going to put a little ad at the bottom. That's my app I just made.
Don't make that app. I'd be shocked if
there we go.
1.5 million people download that app.
I think that this is going to de-incentivize innovation on the iPhone because Apple is
the
going
app
to
you
inherently
described
make
is
it
that innovation.
impossible to strive as a small developer.
It's so,
and they're doing it as a fuck you to be like, see, this is what you get for like they're being bitches about it. Listen, this is going for the guy that everybody says I'm an Apple sheep and that I can't see what Apple does wrong. And I think that the way that Apple's handled this situation is horrible and atrocious. And it's very disrespectful to the people that have worked so hard to make the iPhone into a great product.
I think
again,
it's
not 100%. It is equal in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But apps are the reason the iPhone became the iPhone.
I think that it is salty. And it is, what's the best word I could use for this? It's like, from a business level, I get this move. They're not a charity, and this is not what they wanted to do, and they're being put in a position where they have to do this. So, like, there's a part of me that gets their goal here. But yeah, I think the level of fees is unfair. But I get the mentality behind it. Especially if you have somebody like the EU kind of just having their way with you for a year straight. Like, so many changes have happened in a year's time. And the more you keep giving to them exactly how they asked for it, the more they're going to keep asking.
But at the end of the day, what's the whole point of what the EU's doing? It's to make
What
it
do
better
you-
for people.
That's what you think. Like that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate illusion of any government sets. That's the day. I'm just saying. That's like I'm not Listen, I'm not. There's no reason to be frustrated with me. But
It's
like,
ju-
if you think the EU's motives are only the people, like let's not kid ourselves a little bit.
Okay, I'm not saying that is the
I'm not saying they're out to
only
get everybody. I'm just
reason.
saying like this is a this is why I keep saying it's a slippery slope. I feel like there's gonna be a change that happens in the next year or two where you're gonna be like, okay. Even Sam's gonna be like, okay.
Let's wait and see. I
mean,
used
that's
to be
all
on
we
your
kinda
side.
can
You,
do.
you can find episodes of me saying, "Oh, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope." I disagree. The slope's not as slippery as it seems. Apple's changed RCS. That's better for us. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Apple's added USB-C. That's better for us. That's awesome. I don't want Lightning. I want USB-C. And if it takes
Same.
somebody else to get that, I'm gonna be happy. I understand.
I also want
hear-
USB-C. I also want RCS, and I also want side loading. I just don't want it forced.
At this point,
Like I want 3D touch back, but what does that fucking mean? If I can't force them to do that?
I want
I hold
3D
a
touch
grudge
back, too.
forever. now.
I would. I wish the EU'd be like, you got to bring 3D interface
Yeah,
back.
fuck
to the phone.
side loading. We need 3D touch. I will forever
Yeah.
hold a grudge that 3D touch is gone.
Yeah, that's still so stupid that was it the X that they took it off of the iPhone or iPhone 10?
Yeah, I can't remember,
it
but it
was.
was too expensive to produce for what you could just do the same thing with a long press. But still,
Yeah, it's not the same thing. It was.
it's
actually
not the
better.
same.
They should add it back. Call it 4D touch.
Yeah, why not give it? We're paying ridiculous amounts for these phones now. Why not just
Yeah.
throw it? Like if they brought 3D touch to a Pro Max, a person who always says the Pro Max is too big, I think I would buy one.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I could. It's so big. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out in the EU.
Like I
You
feel
bring up
like
a good point with Apple meeting and maybe them having agreed to these terms, but I am skeptical.
I feel like
currently.
Apple is hostile towards the EU. And unfortunately, as a side effect, the developers get hit too. Like I don't look at this as Apple targeting developers, the people who quote unquote, made the iPhone. I think they're trying to play chess in a complicated game. And technically the EU is like requiring this stuff like USB-C and RCS and all. This isn't exclusive to Apple, right? This is technically for every, like that's the goal, is for every tech company. But like Apple is the one seemingly being targeted. So like you can only give them exactly what they ask for so many times before you got to start taking pieces for yourself too. And from a business standpoint, and unfortunately developers are caught in the middle of this, it feels like.
Yeah. Personally, I think the reason this is happening in the first place is because there are cracks in the App Store as far as like, if the App Store was perfect, nobody
Mhm.
would be asking for
Yeah.
a different way.
That's fair too.
And I mean, just the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apple, to me, I think Apple's payment processing and the fact that it's the default store on the phone, I just feel like that's what most people are going to do and know. And I just think if Apple was like, hey, if you want to do it your own way, you go for it, sis.
Yeah. Well, there's
Because
like
my argument is the Mac. The Mac allows alternative app stores. The Mac has
Uh-huh.
allowed that for years.
yes, but also completely different use space.
Sure.
Like far more damage. Okay, let's say we are executives at Apple, right?
Mhm.
Far more damage is done to us when sideloading is available on the iPhone as opposed to the Mac. Like far more damage can be done. The potential damage and the consequences of that are greater than that of on the Mac.
Sure.
So like we are very blessed with YouTube. Like I don't think people realize how ridiculous it is that we can just anybody, not just us, can upload fucking hours worth of stuff for free and just put it out there and have access to. Like I know not everyone gets the views they want, and a lot of people struggle on YouTube, but like the potential there is insane. The amount of people that are on YouTube as an app, as a platform that you have access to for free. And we're not even touching the amount of money it costs to host content on the internet. Like if you've ever made your own website and wanted to host your own video, even one video, you know how crazy it is that you can upload to YouTube for free. When right now, Audio Boom, our agency, they run our podcast feed. But before that, we ran it ourselves, and there is large amounts of fees because of that. Like we paid a ridiculous amount of money to a platform that was hosting our podcast, and the price went up per downloads. Like the more downloads you had, the more you had to pay. And so this is an exclusive to Apple. Hosting stuff, processing payments, all this stuff is expensive, and there's a lot that we have been taking for granted. Like the fact that you can post on Twitter for free is insane. The fact that you can post on Facebook for free is insane. The fact that you can post on YouTube is insane. But like when there's the potential of you making money, things change. Like responsibilities change, and especially when it comes to hosting content, whether that's video content, audio content, or app development content, prices get up there. $22,000 per month is a big price to pay, a large price to pay. And I would assume, hopefully, that we see that number come down. Like I hope Sam and I aren't sitting here a year from now talking about this and the price is still like that. Like I think Apple thought that they could get away with this pretty easily, and with some pushback, maybe that price will quietly come down.
I hope. Let's go back to the wheel.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Can I bring something up while we're talking about software?
And the wheel picked developer tension.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so speaking of developers, this is really late in the episode. So if you're seeing this or hearing this, thanks for watching this late. But I had an update because after our discussion on Genius Bar last week, somebody reached out to me. I tweeted it, but like it was meant for Genius Bar. So last week and throughout the last week, actually, the last 2 weeks maybe, there's been a discussion of, Netflix, YouTube, Spotify not being on Vision Pro at launch. And a lot of people took that as hostile. Netflix hates Apple, which is true. Spotify hates Apple, also true.
Which is true.
And that's why they're trying to hurt Vision Pro by not being there at launch. And I've been trying to say I don't think that's true at all. I think they hate them, but I don't think they're trying to hurt Vision Pro. I just don't think that it makes sense. On day one, there's going to be 80,000 people at most on day one using this thing, and that isn't enough to pour resources into launching with an app. Whereas this could be a whole separate news article, like 3 months from now. Netflix launches Vision Pro app, and now it's not just part of a launch with a bunch of other apps. Now they have their own launch, their own business, and they got to like hopefully cater the experience. The argument was that it's easy to just check a box and boom, your app is available on Vision Pro. And if you don't do that, that's just you're just out to get Apple. That's hostile towards users and towards Vision Pro, and that's been the argument. They just hate them. And I tweeted about this a few times, and developers came to me and were like disagreeing, and they're like, "Oh, it actually is a box." Oh, because Mark Gurman had tweeted that like it's just basically it's just a middle finger to Apple if they're not doing this. It's just a box, and I tweeted to Mark, and I was like, "That's just untrue. Like that, what you're saying is untrue. That it is just a box." And a developer who I've like seen on Twitter back and forth, I think his name is Dylan. He replied and was like, "It actually is just a box," and he sent a screenshot. And my argument there was like, to show me how to turn the app on is just a box, and say that and use that as your argument is like saying you only need a key to start the car. Like, the rest of the car still has to work before you put the key in and turn the fucking key. Like, it's not just as simple as, I have a key, I can drive my car. The rest of the car has to work. Anyway, I hope this helps people. But after Genius Bar last week, a developer reached out to me that works for, I can't say exactly, but let's say one of the top 3 streaming companies. Okay? And his DM reads as follows. Hey, John, I'm an iOS engineer at streaming company, and I have some info about Vision Pro support speculations. First of all, it's all behind an NDA and stuff, so obviously I'm not sharing his name or where he works or anything like that, but he said it's okay to mention. It's one of the top streaming things. He said, anyway, here goes. Apple reached out to us around WWDC before the announcement. So before Vision Pro was announced. And asked them to partner with them to make a native, can't say.
Okay.
Yeah, a native app for,
Vision OS experience.
Yes. So they could be on stage and be like, we also partnered with these people.
Okay.
So obviously, this streaming company is large enough for Apple to ask them to be part of the launch. So he or she said they provided a few dev units, but never disclosed the actual release date to us. Our original plan was to get a single person to work on the iPad version, because the version you could just check. That single person discovered that there are many complications in that, which made us increase our team. So now we have 2 teams working on the iPad version and a native Vision OS version. It's not just checking a single box in Xcode, as simple as Apple wants to make people believe. Many libraries and other dependencies use old code and other APIs that are not available on Vision OS, making it a huge pain to get full support. Once Apple told us the release date, we were sure that neither versions were going to be ready for launch. So they're saying, I get how smaller apps, you might just be able to check that box and they work perfectly. But a lot of these, especially a streaming app, has separate libraries and APIs that the app is communicating with the entire time to make it all work. And in this case, let alone getting a native app out in time, they struggled to get the iPad version out in time too. So I can confidently tell you that, one, it's not just checking a box, especially for the bigger apps, but also it's not a hostile move from these apps. Like, these people, I'm not saying this was Netflix, but I am saying these people clearly wanted to be involved and just didn't make it in time for launch. And so the app, they've got teams working on both things. It sounds like a native app is coming. It's just not coming at launch. And sometimes it's not that deep. It's just like a timing issue and a resource issue. Like, they really thought they could just have one person just oversee the iPad version, make sure everything's good to go, check the box, and put it out. And then they discovered, we got to do more work on our end. And that might be poor. That might be, that might be their fault. That might be poor coding, old code on their part, like the libraries and APIs that they use. Like, that's clearly on them, not Apple's fault. But it's also not them, like, just saying, fuck you, Vision Pro. Anyway, so to that person, thank you for watching Genius Bar, and thanks for reaching out.
That's very, very interesting.
All right, shall we talk about what was your developer tensions?
Well, that was the whole developer tensions thing that we just did.
Okay. So we already.
So the last thing is iOS 18. The wheel is expired.
Okay, damn. Okay, well,
but we can we can make sure that we land on it. Let me see.
Okay, yeah. Let's just be sure. What are we talking about
you
next?
Never be too sure.
It could be anything. It looks like it's gonna be iOS 18. Gonna be crazy.
Yay!
Who saw that coming? Okay, so I haven't seen this news, Sam. This is something that came out. Did it come out today? I saw I saw an Apple Track tweet, and that's all I saw.
You gotta see an Apple Track tweet because it's the #1 source for Apple news, and it's gonna be the #1 YouTube channel for Apple content in the world. Just give me time. Look at this. iOS 18 gonna be the biggest update in iPhone history.
Did he say those words? Are those his words?
Let me read his exact words. Give a
Okay.
little exclusive from the section of Power On
Okay.
that you have to pay for.
Yeah. Oh,
What
Lions
should we
at
expect in
49ers. Who's
iOS
winning? Can you
18?
click on that?
No, we're not. Get that off the screen. We're not watching football. Football's dumb.
Okay.
Gurman says, I've already reported the main focus of iOS 18.
You're not
will be
showing it
the
on your screen, by the way.
I know it's because it's my email client, dog.
Oh, I
I can't really
apologize.
show that, so I'm just reading it.
apologize.
Okay, can I just?
Wow,
can I just read
Apple's
it?
hostile towards developers, and you're hostile towards Jern.
I'm hostile towards stupid people.
Are you gonna make me pay a friend fee?
Yeah, 50 cents per episode. All right. Basically, he just said, this is the juicy part. He's like, there's going to be Siri AI features. That's coming. He's ready for it. But he says, Apple's head of software, Craig Federighi, told employees last year that the OS, codenamed Crystal, will have ambitious changes all around. So that's old news. We know that. But this is the new tea. I'm told that the new operating system is seen within the company is as one of the biggest iOS updates, if not the biggest in the company's history.
Wow.
With that knowledge, WWDC is going to be exciting. Dude.
Okay, so in Mark Gurman speak, to translate, he's saying this is the biggest, and also just playing it safe. So we lean into not one of, if not the most. We're leaning into the if not the most part of that.
This sounds like it's going to be a redesign.
It has to be. It's time.
First of all, it's time.
Give me
iOS
round
is
fucking
boring and
icons.
stale.
Give me Vision OS on my
But on
iPhone.
the iPhone. Oh.
Like, I would lose my fucking
Dude, have
mind.
you
Like, I
seen,
was looking
have
at
you
the
seen
Pixel
the
the other
concepts
day,
of that?
and the
There's
Pixel.
this guy, Geo, that makes these really sick concepts. Oh,
Pixel
where
has
am I finding this?
round icons like native stock Android, and it looks so good.
I can find it. Oh, yeah, I retweeted one of his tweets the other day. Let me find. Oh, did you know that Vision Pro is coming soon?
Oh yeah, I heard
This
something
guy,
about it.
he makes really sick concepts.
'Kay.
Dude, look at God, everybody's making cool concepts. Wow, I gotta follow all these people. Okay, here's like an example of what like a Vision OS pop up on the iPhone. Dude, it's like translucent.
Yeah.
Oh, and blurry.
Okay, let's make a call. Are we
Let me find
Is it going to
another
look like
really good
Vision
one.
OS?
I
Are
don't-
they going to
dude, I
keep
don't
it looking
know.
different from Vision OS? Like, is Vision OS its own thing, or
Look at that. It's Dynamic Island, but Vision OS style. Okay.
like there's the argument to be made that if it looks like Vision OS, then it's familiar, no matter what platform you're on.
Yeah.
Vision Pro will be less scary to new people because it looks like their iPhone. They'll know how to use it.
I mean, this looks good. I think overall, I mean, dude, it's time for a change. We need a change. I'm so listen, iOS 7, a lot of people hated iOS 7. And listen, do I miss iOS 6?
loved
Sure. But
iOS 7.
I think iOS 7 in general was what we needed. I think it was what the iPhone needed to become more like familiar and simple. But now that everybody knows how to use it, I think Apple should start having some fun.
So
I
I
think they should do
really
something.
I remember iOS 7. Okay, let me backtrack here. iOS 7 made me leave the iPhone. Like I had from iPhone 4. I think iPhone 4 was my first iPhone, and then iOS 7 came out, and I literally went to a OnePlus phone after that, and I used Android for years after that. The reason was Scott Forstall, who led software, got removed. Well,
Left.
yeah. Tim was like, he fucked up Apple Maps real bad, and Tim was like publicly apologized, and he said no, and so he was he lost his job, and because of that, Tim, in all of his fucking wisdom, gave software to Johnny Ive, of all people. So that year, we got a complete redesign of iOS, and it looked pretty. That was like where we got the parallax effect and like the...
Oh, dude, that was like my first time. That was my first dub being a YouTuber. That brings me
Yeah.
back, dude.
and the,
Being
like
on
the pastel-y icons and stuff. So it looked really good, but it worked like ass, dude. It was so bad.
It was slow. It was really slow.
That's what made me leave iOS, because that's why I used iOS. Because it was reliable, predictable, never had any issues with it, and suddenly now it looks really good and I have a bunch of issues with it. And I feel like ever since then we've been struggling to catch up with all the bugs that iOS 7 introduced. So I would love just to. And then we heard reports that like iOS 18 is going to be big, and then we heard that report that actually they're backtracking, they're slowing down, and they're going to fix the bugs before they proceed with new features. So now I'm super hyped on iOS 18. It seems like they started tinkering, they fucked a bunch of stuff up. They went, okay, hang on, reworked a bunch of stuff. So it sounds like it's going to be more stable and better than ever.
To clarify, Gurman, because of course the way he writes is confusing. Like he's trying to write for like SEO, which every outlet's doing, but he's also like making it confusing in the same way.
He has to be vague.
Because
yeah.
Initially his article was like, yeah, it's going to be less buggy, but then he was like, no, this process of fixing the bugs happens every year. It just happened earlier this year. And like that was really the whole story, which I guess would then suggest it's going to be a bigger update if they have more things to fix.
Yeah,
early
either way,
on. It
yeah,
took them
sure.
longer. Either way, the fact, I mean, dude, just look at this. Look at this video. Like that's hot.
Dog.
Yeah, I mean that's like that's hot. Come on.
Really do be.
I want something new. I want something fresh. I'm ready for this, and hearing this, I'm so excited, John, because listen, I've been talking about this for a while.
That might be what I'm most excited about this year, other than Vision Pro.
Like, here's Apple Maps. Look, I mean, and I'm just gonna say, I watched your video this week. I don't think the capture button is at all related to spatial video. Actually, I don't think that's a key part. I think it's just going to be like the report from the information talked about, where it's like more mechanical. Clicky,
didn't we have a Genius Bar where you were in the dark and lost your mind when that clicked for you that it's there for Vision Pro? I thought you originally were on board with that theory.
I think I was originally on board, but then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, that doesn't. That's
Okay.
not. They're not building a button just for that. In my opinion.
Yeah,
right? I could be wrong.
But
Man.
So in all these concepts for audio listeners, it is kind of what we've been implying, like what we would like to see Vision Pro as
there's
Vision
no evidence
OS
that it's
as
Vision
iOS.
Pro.
Yeah, there's no evidence that the redesign is going to look like Vision OS, but that just makes sense from a continuity standpoint and also from it looks really good standpoint. Here's the question, Sam.
I like that. It looks really good standpoint.
Yeah. Here's the question. Is this the year where it's not just icon on icon on icon on icon on icon? Like, we're going to have more control of like how the pages look in iOS?
Just let me do my own icons easily. They've been teasing us for years. And this has been an idea that I've had. My high school, Jake, who you met at the event.
Yeah, love Jake.
He can vouch for me that me and him together have had this idea since we were literally like 15-year-old boys in high school.
Okay.
We were like, okay, you remember one of the most key parts of jailbreaking your iPhone? You ever jailbreak?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was like how I got my channel started. It was super fun because I was like, you can customize little things. One of the key parts of jailbreaking was this app called Winterboard. And what Winterboard allows you to do, as you might remember, is change the way icons, and your iOS looks, right? So you could make, like, let me show you some great old icons. This is really,
I went through a jailbreaking phase for like a week.
What was the dude's name? Icon. That was the name of that theme. Here we go. Shurnix. You remember Shurnix?
No, I don't remember.
Dude, this dude, I remember I wanted to be like friends with him back in the day because I was like, he makes beautiful icons. Anyway, this dude, he still makes icon packs.
Oh,
Here's
that's
a good
cool
example.
to see. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So like this is what it was. It was this.
Wow, bezels used to be fucking crazy.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's like it was these custom icons, right? And he sort of rebuilt it for iOS 14, but it's still really hard and complicated, and it just doesn't, I don't think Bro's been necessarily updating it as much as he, because I think it's just hard. My question has always been, why doesn't Apple allow developers to sell icons? Apple gets their 30%. Theme designers make sense. I mean, it would allow people like
because then
Shay,
it's like
who works for me to make their own thing.
It's another business. It's just branding, dog. Like, unfortunately, like I also would love to change my icons, but like when you see iOS, you know what that is, and it's because they don't just allow you willy nilly. They put it's like that's the same thing. Sure, you can change your icons now, but you're gonna have to take a couple extra steps.
Yeah, but it's like nearly unusable and undoable.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that I've been fighting for the theme store forever. Now I'm not saying the jailbreak store of adding new features because that can get messy. Because
I used to do the same thing. I used to like theme up windows and And what was it called? Rooting my Android device.
Yeah. It's like the
jailbreak, and then I would jailbreak to change. Like I remember jailbreaking just to change the lock screen. I think there was like a really cool lock screen I wanted.
So I mean, listen, if we are hearing that Apple internally is like, this is the biggest update ever, there's no way this is just going to be like a bunch of new features. That's what the update. It's got to be something. And
I'm also really curious about.
You know what?
Go ahead.
It makes so much sense.
Okay, it clicked. What is it?
It clicked. John, what phone did iOS 7 launch with?
It launched on the iPhone 5S.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What was that part you said at the end? It was an S phone?
It was an S phone, yeah.
Almost like Apple needed something else.
Yeah.
To maybe make it
Help
look
them
more
along.
special and interesting.
Yeah, to separate it. But
Kind
you
of
could get.
sounds like this year, doesn't it?
You could download iOS 7 on your iPhone 5 too.
Yeah, but I'm saying we've seen this trend with Apple. We just saw it with the Apple Watch.
Damn, that's a good looking phone.
I know. It's
something
it's
like
really
just the I can like
good.
the button being on top, dude, is like.
I know. I miss it. I mean, just look.
Steve was right. They're too big.
You can just make a big one.
The
look like
iPhone,
this.
dude, the slate on iPhone 5, that color. Oh my God.
iPhone 5.
Good Lord. Oh man, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great phone.
What a great phone, dude. So I think because we saw this last year with watchOS 10. Like Apple did huge redesign. And the watches, I mean, were like basically.
Yeah. I mean, they've been
the
basically
watches
not
were yet
different
another.
for a long
I know.
time.
But Gurman's reporting last year was like because the hardware changes are going to be so muted that watchOS 10 is going to take it over. And I mean, dude, I'm just going to keep it 50-50 with you, okay? If we looking at this iPhone 16 Pro, do our renders come up yet in search? Oh, they do. That's sick. I mean, and that we know that the island is still going to be full size now, which sucks.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of
lighting on that is hot.
Same. Yeah, she did a great job. Shout out to our boy Concept Central. I feel like it needs some special sauce.
Okay,
these
well,
phones
I
to
think the
sell.
giveaway. watchOS 10 has a round logo. Have we seen Vision OS's like logo?
I don't think there's a Vision OS page.
Interesting.
yet.
Well,
Let me check.
if they announce
there's
iOS 18, like Craig shows off the icon for iOS 18 and it's round. That's it. That's the giveaway.
I mean, it does seem like they're kind of going in that direction. Although the Mac, you could argue, has the
It
rounded.
looks so good. Vision OS looks so good. Goodness
dude,
gracious.
Dude, we're so close. Like, it's gonna be insane.
If they do round icons on iOS, that means Mac is next.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I just feel like 2024 are gonna go crazy, dude. I feel like this does not feel like last year to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. We just scraped by last year.
God, I'm excited.
iPhone 15 stuff was pretty hype for a second.
Yeah, that's true. It was the big iPhone refresh. Here it is.
Yeah.
It's good. Although I will say,
I have it. I have it plugged into USB-C currently.
no way.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks,
John, I want
EU.
to make a confession. I'm kind of
Are you gonna say you don't like the color?
No, I'm going to say the iPhone design's a little boring.
Okay.
Like it looks good. I just
Is it boring
The
just because
cameras-
you've been holding it every day? Because this
no,
wasn't
it's
your
boring because
initial
we've
reaction.
had basically the same iPhone design.
Yeah, we
since
have.
2019.
iPhone gonna
with the-
iPhone. But you see this, dude? No fingerprints on the side. Like,
Yeah, that's
damn,
great.
honey.
Millimeter wave.
Also,
window.
can we have not this color next year? Like, next
I mean,
year.
what do you mean?
No, I love the PR images. That's the color I want. Like, that's the color I want to see when I pick this up. This is just gray, dog. I want that shimmery, natural titanium color. This ain't it.
I like the gray.
Like, do you think why? There should be enough of us for a class action lawsuit. Because this isn't the color they showed us.
That's not. I mean,
Like, they show us these colors, and we always know, it's not going to look like that in person. And why do we just allow that to happen? Why doesn't somebody go, okay, no, that's the color I ordered. That's the color I want.
I mean, it kind of is.
Nah. It's got like a tanner color.
Let me. Nah, dude. When you hold it in the light, it's slightly tan. It changes in the color. You can't sue over. This almost looks 1-to-1 what I'm seeing with my own eyes right now.
Still feels like I got gypped.
Guess what you can do in Vision OS? You can make an app that will replace the phone in your hand with the real color that you want. Oh,
well, okay.
are you excited for 4
Dude,
days from now? I feel
I'm
like I'm not
tired.
feeling.
This episode made
You
me
need some
tired.
smelling salts.
Yeah.
I do feel tired as well. Why did you make me tired?
Just kidding.
Oh God! I was like, don't
I
die.
think no. I think that was we literally had so much to talk about that we just
yeah, it really
exhausted
wasn't just
ourselves.
packed. I feel. I mean, we've been going 1:30, and I don't think we have.
I
Any
feel
edits
more tired
either.
after an hour and a half than I do like talking 2 hours last week about the same. We talked for 2 hours about the same thing the whole
Dude.
episode.
You're right. I feel like that's because our brains were working in overdrive, dude. We have such large brains. It just takes a lot of cooling
Yeah.
to operate.
Oh man,
It's a joke, everybody. John,
Sam, the next time
Is-
we do a Genius Bar, everything will be different.
this is it.
This
we
is
made
it.
it. If I die in the next 4 days, I'm gonna be so pissed.
You got to be so
if I-
careful.
Oh,
You have to go up and down
I
these
sh-
stairs. Be
no,
super
there's an
careful.
elevator. Yeah, I'm gonna be real careful.
I wouldn't
dude.
even take the elevator, dude. Risky. I've seen some bad stuff happen in elevators.
So just stay in my apartment.
Yeah,
is
just
basically what
stay
it
like
is.
and wrap yourself in so many blankets so you've got cushion. You can't take any falls. Wear a helmet. Just like every precaution.
You know what's something crazy? The Apple Vision Pro reviews are coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've never done this before. I think I may wake up I think I'm gonna wake up early to watch them.
Oh wow, really? I thought you were gonna say something
That's
different.
how-
Actually, I thought you were gonna say, which was very.
But I got
un-Sam.
one.
No, that you
Oh.
weren't gonna watch anything, and you were just gonna wait until you have it.
Oh.
That's too hard, though. I couldn't.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't.
I'm
I
just gonna
can't
tell you
do
right now.
that.
I can't. fuck
literally,
around like
yeah,
that,
100% not happening. Although
Yeah.
that would be, but no, I can't. I also need to like plan content, and I've got. I don't want to
We
make you
have
edit it, so
been
I'll
on
tell you
a
off the
roll
air.
of
But I've
what-
got a second idea that's pretty crazy. You know the first idea that's pretty crazy, but I've got a
I thought
second.
you had
idea
two
that's-
pretty crazy ideas.
I'm talking about for Vision Pro.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, the other one's literally gonna break YouTube later, but I still have to. Still some time for that one. Still
We
some
have you noticed that you and I have been basically posting one video a week for like a while?
Yeah.
How did that
Yeah, my
happen?
output's been dog shit. Probably just 10 years.
Well, like,
Although I want to get back into YouTube. I kind of miss being a YouTuber.
but like, are we not into YouTube just because we're not posting multiple times a week? Like,
I don't feel like a YouTuber right now.
no, I feel like I'm being more picky, more strategic. Like, I was just looking at stuff the other night of like posting how frequently I was posting, and it didn't matter. Like, I was literally just posting because I had to. I wasn't offering anything of value, it feels like. I was just covering the news because I had to. Like, now I want to be picky about the videos I make, which is not good for business. At all.
Yeah. I was just going to say, That is the downside. I personally feel more of like a TikToker right now than a YouTuber. But I want to get back to being a YouTuber this year. And not that I don't want to keep doing TikTok, because TikTok is really fun. But and I want to do like other projects that I'm working on in the background, which kind of would take away from YouTube. But I kind of miss. I mean, man, maybe I should just quit everything and just go full back to YouTube, because I want to hit 1 million.
I don't.
You ever look at other?
You are the guy. Like, I don't know why you would slow down with YouTube now.
I'm not slowing down with it. I say like I feel like I've slowed down in the past year. And I have. I mean, both of us have.
Oh yeah, we
what do you
both
mean
have.
I'm the
But
guy?
I'm not
You're
the guy.
You're the guy more than me.
No, I feel like you're
Your videos have
primed
been
and ready
popping
to be
off
the
lately.
guy, the chosen one.
Oh, I'm primed and ready to be the chosen one.
Like I said, you're the next everything Apple Pro. That's something that I'm not after. You're the guy.
But here's what I'm thinking.
You're
I
the
feel like
heir.
I'm missing something. Maybe people in the comments can help me. Like, tell me what I'm missing. Like, Philip obviously had a huge lead. Makes. I
timing
don't know if
also
he's going
was,
to come back. Incredible content, right?
Yeah.
Deserves every bit of success. That's not what I'm not making an argument that like he doesn't. The point I'm trying to say is like he hit like basically 10 million subscribers.
Yeah, it's
And
all,
I just feel like
it's
that
just
gap
the generational
between-
gap there. He was in the right place, right time. He was with the Marquez, and
I know, but I just feel like that gap. And John, I see other people that have been doing YouTube for around the same time as us are at like, 1.2 million, 1.4 million. But I feel like there's a gap between us that I just can't solve. Like, I feel like my growth, I'm just not growing or reaching
I really
new
do
people.
think it's just a difference in the time. Like, if we had to rate us, I feel like there's... Like, I feel like we're the second tier. Like, there's the Marquez... Like, the less casual of a viewer you are, the more chances you have to find us. It's like the casual viewers watch Marquez. If you watch a little bit deeper, you're going to find us. And then if you watch a little deeper, you'll find some more channels. You'll find like a Greg's Gadgets and stuff. And then there's like another layer where there's another level under that where people struggle a bit more. But I feel like it's odd.
That's what I'm saying. Huh.
It's odd to say the subscription just doesn't carry as much weight now. Like, people watch Front Page Tech all the time that are not subscribed. 50% of the people that watch Front Page Tech that come back and are recurring viewers are not actually subscribed. That's 1 million people right there.
I just want to see that number.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's
all just I think.
I want to be like, I got 1 million followers on YouTube. I did it.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna take a different breakaway for that to happen. Like, nothing against Marquez, but if Marquez was starting now, he wouldn't have that many subscribers. I think he would still be very successful. But
yeah.
Yeah.
There is something about that, and like, we're lucky because then there's people below us that
We're
are like,
very
damn, they're
lucky.
talking about struggling. Like, how am I gonna? It's like the answer
We are
is like,
very
you just kind
lucky.
of got to keep trying. Like,
well, I feel like we were part of the second wave. Like,
yeah,
the first wave is the Marquezes and stuff. The second wave is us.
Justine.
And then, unfortunately, and I hate to say it this way because I'm not trying to be negative, but like, it's tough out there. It's tough out there to get started.
It is, and I've seen smaller people that
Like,
I've
it's hard
watched.
to sympathize, like, because I don't have a full understanding, like, you hear all the YouTube gurus try to tell people how it works, and
No, all that stuff is bullshit.
it's all bullshit. Don't listen to a
I've
single
never
guru.
watched. No, don't want anybody that is trying to talk to you about YouTube. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, anyone that's
Whatever
trying
they're
to sell
telling
it
you,
to
something. A lot of times you should do the opposite.
Yeah.
You want to know the trick to YouTube?
Do it. That's it.
I'll tell you. No. The trick is get your watch time as high as possible. That is the trick.
Yes.
If your
So-
watch time is below 30%, there's a reason
And
the
the
video's not
only way
performing.
to do
you
that
gotta
is
get
to be
above 40 to
actually
60
good.
at telling a story. Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure the watch time on your Tim Cook doc's crazy. It's got to be like 80-90%, right?
it's 70% now, but it was higher. Like,
yeah.
it was higher when it first came
know,
out,
that's
and
insane.
then the more people watch it, the less. But like, that's something that I'm trying to learn. That's an active skill that I'm trying to learn, and I'm 11 years in,
Same.
and I'm telling you, I can be better at telling a story. Like, I want to be.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do with Front Page Tech right now, and what feels natural and good to me is. What I really appreciate is people have started to notice it over the last few episodes where people are
that's
like
cool.
pointing it out, like, oh, I see the pattern here. I'm trying to tell a story. I'm not trying to just I'm trying to see a news story, but then see how I can create a story arc through that news story.
I've noticed that.
And so like the episode is there's a bigger picture to each episode now, and that's a whole other like talent I'm trying to develop, because sometimes the news is just the news, and I gotta not overthink it. But the retention is much better when you're painting a larger picture.
Yeah.
And that really is the secret to YouTube. The secret to YouTube is just fucking do it. Experience is going to be your best teacher. Failing is going to be your best teacher. And learn how to get people to watch as long as possible. That doesn't mean just make a longer video. Unfortunately, that the odds are stacked against you. The longer you want your video to be, the better you have to be at keeping them there. So, yeah, it's tough. It's like, yeah, if you make your video 8 minutes, you get to make extra ad revenue. But now you got to figure out how to get them to watch for 8 minutes. That's a skill.
Yeah. And it's something that I struggle with too. Like I mean, I've been trying to make my videos.
Yeah. Like showing yourself
better.
On screen and stuff.
Yeah. Trying to, and I think that it is helping. I mean, even my mom was like, I like that little window that you put in the corner now. And I was like, whoa, that's like the most casual
It keeps
viewer.
you visually engaged. Yeah.
And I don't know if she says it's because I'm handsome or what. Maybe that's why she likes watching.
Yeah.
But
like something I'm really, really trying to do anytime I can is not show a fucking article. Like that is not a good video to me anymore. Like anytime I edited front page tech, I would edit pretty hard, and then at the end just skimp out and be like, oh, the rest is easy. I just got to find articles and throw them in there. If it's that easy, I probably shouldn't do it. That's not good. That's just not good. Reading content is not good as a video. And so articles was easy B-roll before. If it adds context to what I'm saying, I'm obviously going to show you an article. But what I'm saying is when I can avoid it, I would like to not show you an article in my video.
Agree. You
got a leg up there because you're doing renders and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's interesting that you bring up that example because I actually, in my iPhone 16 video, I don't think I showed maybe more than 1 or 2 articles. And I actually ran into an issue where people were then like, where is this info from? Mm-hmm. This is Apple tracking it, and it created a level of confusion. And I sort of learned like, oh, actually the article can help be like, this is who said this. Mm. This is where it's from. But at that same time, I completely agree with what you're saying where it's disengaging. And I'm like, but not in a way that I'm trying to be evil and like make you to be glued to your screen. In just a way that I'm like,
no.
Like you said, reading text isn't a good video. Yeah, I agree that I'm looking for something better. And if
I show text, I have been cutting it out of the article, like making it more of a native part of the video.
Yeah, that's good. I noticed that. That was really
just a little bit more effort, and I'm trying not to keep it on screen for very long. I'm trying to make cuts unless I'm talking to you face to face for a prolonged period of time. I'm trying to cut every 5 seconds now.
I've noticed that. Yeah, I definitely have been also trying to do less.
And it's like retention is up. It's just the amount of effort is insane. It's like I don't know if I can produce 3-4 episodes at this level.
Dude, I remember I was talking to Luke about it because Luke, and I live in LA now, and he edits at a rate that's just insane. Like he will shoot a video and edit his A-roll together in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, how do you you just boom, 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 boom. And I'm just like, it's impressive because for me, I'm so like, I guess the answer is I'm so in my head now about I didn't cut 4 seconds in.
Yeah.
Well, it's like boring.
I'm fascinated
the way I
by
said this is confusing. I need to go back to my mic and re-record this to make it more clear. Yeah. It's I'm in my head about every little thing, which
me too. But like that's
good
the thing.
Bad.
It's just different intentions. Like Luke is a machine.
Yeah.
And a lot of times
he's a really good YouTuber.
A lot of times Luke dives into very niche specific information.
Yeah.
And can lean on that easier. I think his videos would do even better if you got all those information and then he spent more time in the edit. But like Luke has the luxury of not having to do that, and he's really good. Like he is a ridiculous editor. That's like and it's like you could argue he's a better editor too. Like that he done is better than perfect. That whole mindset. Mm-hmm. But right now it could just be like to creatively keep me going. I'm fascinated by the art of it. Like I want to learn how to edit for retention. I want to learn how to tell a better story. I want to make better videos, better front page tech videos. I'm not saying that I'm trying to make a better Luke Miani video or like his videos would be like he's got to edit more. To make a better front page tech, I think what that looks like and what the data is telling me now is like just putting more effort into the whole process. We'd put so much effort into the writing and into the recording and then just skimp out on editing because I can do it with my eyes closed. What if I didn't do it as if I could do it with my eyes closed and just tried harder? The results are better, but it's also like my output isn't as great now.
Dude, I feel that. Like my iPhone, I mean, the iPhone 16 video I did, I have never, ever in the history of me doing YouTube had an iPhone rumors video break 200,000 views before 2 to 3 months before launch, because usually nobody cares.
Yeah.
And the fact that this video performed that strong for me on a phone that basically looks the same.
Yeah.
I was like, the only difference, and I hate it, the only difference was I spent more time on the edit and the storytelling, to be fair. Like, I really was like, it kind of felt like an Apple keynote, like, this is this is that, this is this, here, I'm at Apple Park. Like, you know, I mean, there's so many things about that video I could point to, but like, I want people to know, like, that's the quality they can hopefully expect going forward. At the same time, like, I haven't really, I mean, I'll just be vulnerable and transparent here. I don't really know how this weekend of Vision Pro content's about to go.
Me either.
Because I know what I want to do. I know the vision. No pun intended. I know the first video that I'm making. I think I know the second video, and I definitely know the third video.
Okay.
Here's the problem, John. One video is supposed to go out Friday, one video is supposed to go out Saturday, one video is supposed to go out Sunday, and then I want to do another video on Monday.
Holy fuck.
And I think the only answer to that is sacrificing my mental health and some of my own sanity to put out the best work I can. That's the only solution I've come up with. Like,
I mean, you saw that happen with me with the doc.
Yeah.
Okay, not to peel back the curtain too much, but there was a second where Sam even texted me like he was trying to have like a normal human conversation with me, and I couldn't snap out of it. And he's like, I kind of miss my bud. And that was like a wake-up call for me to be like, okay, like, so I was literally just there in the trenches, like locked in, and that's not healthy either. Like there's times and places for that. Yeah, like to get the doc out, it was definitely worth it. I would do it again every time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And a lot of good about the doc happened because I was under pressure in those last few days. Like the physical showing of every picture and article and stuff was that happened in the last 3 days. The original cut wasn't like that.
Yeah, I remember you added that.
So like it was just I experimented for one shot. It was for the book shot. When I showed Trip Mickle's book, I always saw that shot in my head being physical. That's why I bought the physical book. And I was like, damn, that looks so good. This would look so much better if all the shots were consistently like that. And so I just went back and redid all of it. But and I didn't sleep for days, like doing that.
Yeah.
And there's a time and place for that. But yeah, there's like sometimes it's hard to find the balance, and this might be your week to like, you know, not look up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling pretty locked in.
Uh-huh.
I think I have a clear vision for what I want to do. And the only bottleneck is the editing. And I think I'll spill the idea now. My idea is that done is better than perfect for this weekend.
Okay.
That's my vision for this weekend. I don't think it's going to be
the
best possible
pro
edit.
vision.
Yeah, I don't think, because I know that I can't output the quantity that I as a viewer want to. I want to see me do this to it. I want to see me test this. I want to see me test that. Mm-hmm. And I know that if I actually spend as much time as I'd like to, it'd be one video for the weekend. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm putting out. I'm putting out one video on Sunday, and that's just not.
Yeah.
I'm too excited to do that. I can't sit around waiting. I think I'm gonna invest more in the content on its surface than the edit. Like the actual, like what you're seeing. That's my plan. And I might be wrong. I mean, hey, it'll be a public experiment. Maybe all the videos tank. Maybe it's like, you messed up, dog. But usually this is a strategy that I'll just tell people the secret sauce. The this is a strategy I've always employed on launch days that have worked for me.
Uh-huh.
A great way to grow when I was smaller is I focused on features that I thought a lot of people would ignore.
Smart.
And you can see this in my content. Like, while everybody else had seen the full review from The Verge and everybody else that got early access because they're lucky little bastards, I always was like, how do I make this interesting for people? And it was like, let's focus on the stuff that people haven't seen. So like, you can see this in my content every iPhone launch forever.
Wow.
Let's just go back
The Jon
to
Prosser era goes crazy. Like seeing the iPhone 14 renders, the Apple Watch renders, the
I'm trying to find
iPad Mini right there.
Yeah. Where is I'm trying to find my iPhone 13 launch.
Just search it.
Here.
Oh,
Here
iPhone 13
we
Pro.
go. Here's kind of a good showing. This was a little bit of an off year, but I did like the unboxing, which just doing a straight unboxing. Don't do this. You're not going to get any views. This is a pro tip. Don't just unbox your phone. Now, Vision Pro might be an exception. Because it's so new,
unboxings,
but
the
unless you get
laziest
early,
amount of content possible.
it's just really hard to stand out now. But yeah, I did like things you haven't seen, camera test, and like a general overview. And it's like you can see which one performed the worst. It's the one that anybody could make. Not anybody could make these two videos easily. And I think my favorite showing is actually the year before for iPhone 12. Here's a good example. Again, which video? Why did I make unboxings for so long?
Yeah.
Look at the views.
Just because that's what you think you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean.
But like, look
you
at this.
wouldn't
As soon
know
as I
unless you just did it. I don't want to. I want to backtrack a little bit here because we both kind of made fun of YouTube gurus. I don't want to say that YouTube gurus that exist out there are selling you snake oil or like scamming you or anything like that. What I will say is there is a base level of information that is helpful that every YouTube guru in history will tell you. After that point, there's nothing. You're not going to find a video. Like, I searched for years trying to find the video where someone just said one piece of information I never heard from anybody else. They all have the same information. They're all regurgitating it. I spent 7 years making front page tech. Basically just treading water, standing in the same spot, watching YouTube gurus, paying for courses, staying in the same spot for 7 years. And I wouldn't wish that pain on anybody. Like, you shouldn't. It's doing the same thing with no growth for 7 years is atrocious and is a horrible thing to do for yourself. Nothing changed until I just did the damn thing. Until I just started doing and making stuff and finding myself. That's the best way to ever grow on any platform. Experience is truly the best teacher. And yeah, if there's one like data metric that will help you do better, it is that. It's just retention. Get people to watch longer. Tell a good story.
Okay, last thing that is a complete detractment from this because I just remembered, and now I'm pissed.
Okay.
You remember last week when we talked about how cool it was going to be to get a special launch bag for the Vision Pro?
Are you going to ruin that for me?
Yeah, you remember when Mark Gurman said Apple is planning a special commemorative launch bag that looks like this?
Yes, I recall.
You remember how excited we were? You want to see the picture? iPhone 2G special edition bag. You want to see how happy these people were that had this? Where is he at? There was some guy.
Yeah, I know. It was on. You shared it on Apple Track.
Yeah, I did. You're right. We love Apple Track here. Dude. So I'm like, for a week, I'm like, this is absolutely sick, right? It's these people. We're going to look like this. This is going to be me and you on
Look how
launch day,
happy.
right?
Audio listeners, just two dudes holding the original iPhone in a special edition bag with a big old smile on their face.
Specifically made with a special design for launch.
These are probably what's really cool about this. Like, I want to pretend I'm in this moment. I want to believe that these are two strangers just meeting, happy about the same thing.
Yeah. Guess what, dude? We got a little update from Gark Merman.
From the Germster.
Dude, he is like, where's the
Why
little?
does he tweet so much?
I mean, he's been sharing a lot of good info. I'm trying to find.
Look in his
It
media.
was after he shared the like tidbits. Here we go. It's going to be after this when he ruined my absolute day. He said, that's a Vision Pro stuff for interview.
Isn't the box massive? Have we talked about that yet?
Oh no, we haven't showed the box, dude. See, the wheel killed us. The wheel ruined our lives. We're never doing the wheel again. Dude, this is from 10 hours ago. I think he deleted the tweet. Anyway, Mark Gurman said there is no special commemorative bag. He said it's just going to be big enough to fit the thing in the box.
Wait,
it's just a white
isn't
bag.
he the one that said we were getting that?
Yes! Hold on, I'm going to find it. I think I know what happened.
Gurman
I think I scrolled
giveth,
past it.
and Mark Gurman taketh away.
Dude, look at this.
Ah, shit. Clarification. The new shopping bags look like the regular Apple bags. They're just large enough to fit the bigger packaging.
That's not a... Dude, he literally said, dude. Where does he say it?
Update. Nah.
Did he edit it?
I don't know.
All I know is I'm heartbroken. Oh, here. There are also commemorative shopping bags, like with the original iPhone. Dude.
That's unfortunate.
There's a special Apple Watch bag on launch, too. Dude,
That looks like
that's really disappointing.
Yeah, I really do be, though.
And then look, he even got roasted. Not gonna lie, just say correction instead of clarification. Thank you. Yes, Mark. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Just say,
that's not
"My
a
bad."
clarification. That's a complete change of pace there, Marcus.
You just got it wrong. So just be like,
Yeah.
hey, I was wrong. It's okay, Mark. We still love you. I still love you. You're still
Clarification.
my goat, Mark.
Special bag like original iPhone doesn't actually mean that.
Yeah,
What?
but we saw, I forgot, you're right. We saw the packaging
Yeah.
for Apple Vision Pro. And here it is. This is your first look via @MacRumors. There's the box.
Great. Oh, that's the wrong button.
Look at this. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. I'm really sorry. I gaslit you there. There we go. Look at this.
There we go.
Dude,
Wow.
that's a big box.
That's fucking massive. Good Lord. Like, okay, for audio listeners, I don't even know. It looks like a
It's about-
box a microwave would come in.
Well, yeah, imagine a really large shoebox. Like, imagine shoebox for, like, massive, like, Balenciaga
Yeah, but it's much
boots.
larger than Vision Pro. Why? Wonder why.
I mean, there's accessories inside. You've got to package the double
But
straps.
like, just make it long. Why is it also tall? What's in that
Maybe there's
box? Do you
something
think it
secret.
comes? Do you think it comes with like a little person?
I
Like
mean,
that'll
we
help
know
you
what's
learn
in the
how
box.
to use it.
I guess we're going to see the packaging and everything when we see the reviews. I mean, we don't know who got it. It sounds like it was more select people, but it's probably going to be iJustine and Mark S. Brownlee
Yeah.
and The Verge.
We
Guys,
don't know who got it.
any parting shots before we
Also,
peace?
I just want to get. I don't know who this woman is, what her name is, but I just want to give her flowers. The perfect
Yeah.
choice for like the promo image for Vision Pro.
Really?
Iconic. Yeah, she's like put that dad there. It's way less iconic with that guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's the perfect person for this.
Shout out.
Shout out. Don't know your name, but if I knew your name, I'd give you credit. But that's the best part. Everyone knows who I'm talking about, regardless. Even if you're just listening, you know the images. You know who I'm talking about.
Woman.
The Vision Pro woman. You know who that is.
I'm so excited.
All
All right.
right.
Let's send us out.
2 hours of
Almost a
Vision.
2 hour episode.
2
That's
hours
crazy.
of Genius Bar again. Damn.
Guys, the next time that you click on the notification, because all of you have the bell turned on, at least I hope so, you're going to see us talking about Apple Vision Pro, baby. Woo!
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week, and you will see us in Vision Pro.
Give me
Gonna
the
be quite.
fireworks.
All the talking is over. It's time for the doing. It's time for the seeing for ourselves. And we will tell you what we see next week. If you're getting a Vision Pro, you get to enjoy with us next week. If not, you still get to enjoy it with us next
I
week.
hit the button. I'm sorry. We have to go again.
Why? Are you on accident?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't intentional.
Okay, we're ending it again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for
guys for
listening. I'm sorry for Sam. This is how we make it 2 hours. We just
Remember
keep
when
playing the
Linus Tech
song.
Tips got canceled last year and then everybody forgot about it in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That was really weird.
I wonder if that was
Technically,
good
very
PR or just the internet forgets easy.
I think the internet just forgets it easy. I don't know. I think people just love him and his reviews.
I stopped
Just
watching
fair.
after that. I don't know
Yeah, I'm not
why.
never
I
really
can't
watching
associate
full
why I stopped, but yeah, I don't watch Linus Tech anymore.
I just thought it popped into my head at the end. 'Cause I think with the WAN show, they like keep ending it and then keep going. You know?
Oh,
We thought we invented that, but yeah, it just popped in
they
my
stole
head.
it from
It's
us.
crazy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude. I mean, I can't wait. Making any content now just feels weird. I feel like I almost have to wait.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an idea that I thought about doing this week, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this.
You
I
can
was
have them.
thinking about watching every Apple Vision Pro review and then summarizing what people say in my own video.
Okay.
Because I feel like I want to know the info from every video, but a lot of people don't have time to watch every video.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun to like be the guy that aggregates it. Because I think that's
Huh,
fair use,
yeah.
right?
I'm trying
yeah,
to think of a
if I'm-
title. I'm noodling on a title.
I watched every Apple Vision Pro review, so you don't have to.
That's a pretty good one.
And
That's a
then
pretty
have me
good
be
one.
like in pain
Yeah.
with the broken glass because it's gonna fail.
I forgot that like you missed the group chat, but like randomly Andrew Edwards and I just like I came up with the title for his next video that's coming out tomorrow and made the thumbnail just cuz I don't know why that happened.
Dude, I'm so excited.
So his video's coming out Monday, not an actual like, hands-on review.
Well, yeah, because he couldn't like.
Yeah, and
say
then the
that.
actual reviews drop on Tuesday.
Oh,
I feel like this next week is going to be so long. It's going to feel so long.
it really is.
All right, thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you guys next week. Sorry. I hope you made it through 2 hours of us.
We love you guys. You're the best, and we'll see you.
We're the best too,
We'll see you in spatial computing.
We'll see you in spatial computing. We'll see you in the next era.
It's just still weird. Like, Apple has shown us so much, but also nothing at all.
That's what I've been trying to say for fucking 8 months. See you next week.
You're just a little hater ass bitch.
I know.
See you next week.